Welcome to Vouch, the show where I find weird, cool shit and tell you how weird, cool, and shitty it is. The Magic Circle is very weird, very cool, and very shitty. It's messy to talk about. The Magic Circle is a narrative walking simulator, hiding a puzzle game, hiding a collectathon, hiding a narrative walking simulator, hiding a piece of propaganda designed to make you want to make video games. Every aspect is rough around the edges, but at the same time, every single aspect is not completely boring. Pacing could be smoother, puzzles could be more creative, the story could be more winding, the collectathon could be less tedious, but it is, in the end, greater than the sum of its parts. I beat the game in 4 hours. It's short. This is the exact kind of game you sit on for a bit and then breeze through one late night when you can't sleep at all and you really need something to absorb your attention fully. The story is about a developer who made a really good text adventure game a really long time ago and has been in the midst of remastering it for ever. The game is broken and terrible, and you are a playtester where you shouldn't be mucking around in the game files from within and listening to audio logs as you find them. You have to explore all over the map to collect every bonus audio log. It's like an N64 platformer, except with the world's dullest movement. The story is good, but not great. The voice acting is great. I love that guy who's in Venture Bros. There's also this glitch guy who tutorializes you and tells you to shape the game to your whim and calls you boss. And he's alright. It drags in areas, but the cool part is how you can edit creatures in the game, steal their traits, and apply them to other creatures, who follow your commands like Pikmin. It's lightweight, kind of puzzly. There are only like 3 or so moments where I actually did something super clever with them, but those moments felt great. I just wish there were more of them. It's also worth mentioning, the visual style is not terrible. A lot of games are just so bland, it's nauseating, and while I wouldn't say, wow, this game is beautiful, it's not really boring to look at and it doesn't look like anything else. That gets you points. I wouldn't vouch for this if that was all it was, but it isn't. At the very end of the walking simulator, they put you in the shoes of a dev. They give you some really bare-bones system with which to make your own game. This started off as really boring, but then something clicked and I actually started enjoying myself. Moreover, the resource that you need to add more things to the game correlates directly to the collectathon portion of the walking simulator. So the more thorough you are in the front half, the more creative you get to be in the end. This is great because it retroactively makes you feel like even though that was boring, you were earning something towards the end. Quite honestly, I think you're going to enjoy the game more having this knowledge in advance than I did realizing it suddenly at the end. For every moment you're like, ugh, this is taking forever, you're actually earning yourself more fun and more freedom at the end of the game. And narratively, that goes perfectly with the process of game development. It's a nightmarish slog at first, but you know, at the end, it'll all be worth it somehow. It's one of those situations where, yeah, that matches, but it's also still kind of frustrating, so personal judgment on whether it's worth experiencing that or not. When you finish, they have an automated player test the game, and you get to see this engagement meter as they fight and find treasure and shit. I played this game with Frog, and we were genuinely excited about making our dumb game for the AI to play, and it thematically tied in with the story pretty well, which was a pretty unique experience. That specifically is something that's hard to find. Also, it's kind of funny. I wouldn't say it's like gut-busting, but you know, it's comedically toned, and it's not so bad that I cringe. Now, the game is $20. I would not pay $20 for this. It does go on sale most summers, though. I looked on this fucking website I found. Somewhere in between $4 and $7 it goes, which is totally fair. It's an interesting game, rough around the edges, but worth a look if it interests you. I don't think it's a must-play or anything, but I think it deserves to be talked about just a smidge more than it is right now. Play it or not, I don't care. Bye.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing